Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest The Suffering podcast. Well, it looks like there was a lot of good reception with my inaugural video, so glad to see that everyone is indeed liking this new series. So I thought as a treat I would do one more for you here, and that involves the next monster or the next creature encountered within the game. And then I'll just give it just a brief pause and then start focusing on other stuff. But yes, thank you so much for the warm comments. It does seem like there are a lot of fans, again, even to this day, that love this revolutionary game. So this monster is encountered in level 2. And it's something that also has a very memorable appearance and a very memorable introduction. And yet again, it has to do with something involving a theme. In this case, the way it was executed, mimicking, I guess, whatever occurred within that mysterious island. So you're looking at it now, very distinct look to it. It's called the Marksman or the Marksman, depending, I guess, on how many you encounter at the time. But here's all the rich information associated with this creature. So again, it makes its presence known near the second level, I believe, and you can kind of get a preview of it before it does. It has like this rumbling sound, something involving, I guess, like almost the ground shaking when it's making its near presence known. And then there is yet again another introduction video, like a little mini cutscene to it, showcasing it coming into a room. Then you finally have its appearance. It is probably just by size the largest humanoid monster within the entire game. It is a gigantic, almost Hulk-like creature, just completely just pure mass of muscle. It's a humanoid feature, in this case of a man wearing what looks to be traditional pants, but with his rippling muscles on the back of it, it stands out with its most unique feature. There it is, in that case, having on its back what looks to be a mound of muscle or something that's just attached to his back that contains multiple what looks to be shotguns. And all these shotguns it uses to then fire upon its victims, and you'll see it as examples throughout parts of the game. So these guns are tied to its back. They can point in multiple directions or in all directions all at once, and the whole point with it is to try to make sure that you can avoid it, because it can of course shoot from far away, let alone from a close encounter as well. And then as far as its other appearance, you can see that it has towards its head what looks to be like a blood-stained blindfold covering its eyes, again harking to its theme, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But otherwise, again, one of the largest humanoid monsters within the game, probably the largest one. Huge presence within any room. So it's something that if you see it within your level, you definitely want to get as far away as possible because of the large damage that it can do. Let's talk now more about these rifles that are attached to its back. So it has it on a rotating turret. I was watching the video of the player there on YouTube, and it was interesting to see these things turn around in unison. Quite an interesting thing. I mean, it was amazing to see it in action. You kind of have to see it to essentially marvel at it. But yes, they can turn around to fire at different points, and then it seems like it has, in this case, let's say these shotguns that can inflict multiple damage at the same time. And then with regards to any other type of attacks that it does, it also seems to have something as far as, I guess, like a close range attack, where they're able to make like these sharpnel burst, something involving his bodies, where I thought I saw it hit the player. Like if you get too close, like let's say if you try to do anything involving a knife or some other kind of melee weapon, then it'll simply just punch you. But I can't quite recall if that was. Someone just point me out if that truly is that something that this Marksman does. But otherwise, its guns seem to be the most popular thing that it uses. Now, as far as its theme and what it's supposed to represent, clearly by the way it has those guns on its back, it represents a type of execution by firing squad. So especially with the blindfold covering its eyes. So there's the idea that whenever in the older days, whenever someone was killed, especially let's say during times of war, you would have those people placed, in this case, towards a pole or something, where they were just tied to a wall, whatever was the case. And then a lot of times they would have a blindfold placed on their eyes, so that way they never knew when the moment of impact occurred. And then there they were, just essentially counting down the seconds until they actually hear the firing squad, usually a large group of men, all firing at the same time, counting down from a couple of seconds down to one, and then that's it. The prisoner and whoever is essentially executed. I remember reading too that whenever that stuff would happen, everyone would be given a simple cartridge to fire upon, in this case from the firing squad, but none of them knew if they had the live bullet or not. Apparently there was only like a couple of bullets within them that are real, and the rest of them are fake, and that way these men, whoever did these firings, would not have the guilt associated with them thinking, was I the one that actually killed the prisoner? Was I the one that did the fatal shot? So that way they could not have that haunting them afterwards. So just a little bit of trivia on that part. But continuing the theme, as far as the Marksman, is supposed to represent also a dark history within the island. And this is because look at the bottom of it, in this case those pants and then the boots that are attached to it. They harken back to the idea that this was a prisoner, somebody that was within a POW, something along those lines, because apparently the history of that island, of that Abbott Island, there were rumors that there was something involving past wars, and then somewhere along the lines that island was made into a makeshift POW camp, but that there was a colonel there that took things too seriously. Somebody, in essence, that was executing people left and right for the slightest reasons. And so when that happened, you get the idea that there was some innocent, I guess you could call them, executions, people that weren't supposed to be executed, but for this power hungry or this mad colonel executing them outright. And then that led to this one, to this Marksman essentially being created by the island afterward as a haunting reminder of that dark past. So that's also supposed to be another representation of it too. But that's it. That's pretty much all the info tied to this unique creature, this monster again that's encountered as the next monster after the Slayers. If anyone has any more information, anything I might have missed, please post those comments below. That'd be really, really good to hear. And again, thank you so much for the very nice comments on the first inaugural video. I look forward to doing more of these throughout the future. So, by the way, the Marksman does make an appearance with the sequel, the next Suffering game, but I'll save that when I start talking about the second game itself later on. So, alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.